Alright guys, so I'm gonna show you how to cold start Boeing 777. Now, when you look at it first, it all looks very intimidating, very overwhelming. Oh my goodness, look at all of these buttons. My God, how am I gonna fly this thing, you know? Imagine if someone asked you, hey, we need you to fly this plane. We have nobody. You're the only pilot we know, but you've never flown Boeing 777. So how do you turn this big giant 777 on? How do you do it? Well, I'm going to show you how to do it. Right now, everything's turned off. Everything's turned off. The engines are turned off. The electricity's turned off. So you're pretty much starting cold. Cold and dark, as they say. So, what's the first thing that every airplane needs, that every car needs, besides the fuel, right? Besides the oil, or in this case, besides the jettison fuel on the airplane? What's the first thing that every car, every airplane needs? Electricity. Electricity. Nikola Tesla was right. Everything is powered by electricity. Of course, we need oil and fuel, jettison fuel, for the mechanical purposes, but electricity is the most important part as well. Without electricity, you cannot start the engine. So, where's your battery? Well, it's not going to be here where your instruments are, or down below, or on the right, or on the left, or in the center, or at the bottom, or behind you. It's going to be right above you, right over here, this panel. So even here it tells you electrical. So you're looking for the electrical. That's where your battery is. Okay, so excuse me, the first thing you want to do is turn on the battery. Make sure that everything's working. Make sure that your APU is working. Panel. So you turn it on a couple of times like that till it turns on. You can hear the sound. Okay, now we know we're getting the oxygen, all that good jazz. You can hear the sound. So now that you know that your batteries are working, everything's good here, that's the first step. And that's a good sign. That means that the batteries are powered and they're working. So what's the next step? Well, the next step is going to be your fuel jettison. Your fuel jettison right here, which is right over here. So we already finished the battery. That's the first step, the electrical panel. So we have finished with that. We got the electricity. We got the oxygen running with all that good jazz. We got the APU running. So the electrical panel right here, we got electricity. We got the battery. It's working. It's a big giant battery and it's working. So what's the next thing? Now we move on to the fuel, the jettison fuel, the mechanical problem that needs to be addressed. So what do we do here? Now this is your hydraulics. This is for the flight technician, for the flight mechanic. He needs to look at this. He's the one that usually checks this out. You don't worry about this. You just leave everything on automatic here. You never touch this. Just leave it on automatic. The first thing you should look for is your electrical panel, your battery over here, and then the APU to start it. Okay? And make sure everything here is turned on and automatic. This you ignore the hydraulics. Then you move on to the fuel jettison. Why? Because this is a jet airliner. That's why I call it jet airliner. Jet airliner requires the fuel. Jet fuel, and that's why they call it jettison fuel. It's a jet fuel, specific kind of a fuel to run the jet. So what is this here? This is your fuel tanks, the fuel pumps. They're gonna send that fuel to the left and to the right engine. So what we need to do here, we need to turn all of this on the left pumps forward and the right pumps forward. And then the center pumps forward. You turn all of this on. Left, right, center. Left, right, center. When you're done with that, so what's the next step, you say? What is the next step? The most important step before you do the last step, is your fuel control. This is what's going to send that fuel, that jettison fuel, to your left and to your right engine. So you turn this on the left engine and on the right engine. It's right over here next to your trimmer and next to your throttle. And then we go up. We go up. And then we get to the engine. Look, it even says engine, guys. It's not that difficult, okay? It even here tells you the fuel jettison. And even here it tells you electrical. And even here it tells you the window heat. The anti-ice, how to turn the anti-ice on. The navigation lights. It's all there. Guys, if they made these airplanes so difficult to fly, then we wouldn't have anybody flying them. Okay? They have to make them feasible so that people can, if they forget, they can remember where everything is. And even here it tells you the air conditioning, so you know where everything is. So, what's the next step? Turning on your left engine. And then your right engine. And also, make sure that your fuel jettison is armed. You have to arm your fuel jettison. That's the last step. So you turn on the left engine, turn on the right engine, and then you arm the fuel jettison to get that fuel going. And now you see it. There it is. You see it? It's working. We can give it a little thrust. There it is. And my friend, we're ready to taxi out. We're ready to take the sucker out. We can request a pushback if we want to. And go to ground services. We can request a pushback.
Andrews ground MRFO URKAY 19er79er heavy requesting pushback.
But I don't think they're gonna have it here on the Air Force. Because we're in the Air Force base, that's why it's not available. So there you have it, guys. We got the engines rolling. You can see it right here. And that's it, guys. It's really not that difficult to cold start. I mean, we can go taxi out if you want. I can do it. I mean, the engines are working, everything's working. We can taxi out if you want me to. But the whole point of this video is just to show you that it's not that difficult to cold start these airplanes, especially the Boeing 777. It might seem difficult at first. It might seem difficult at first, but it's really not, guys. Everything seems difficult at first when you look at something like, oh my God. But it's not. And now we can taxi out to the runway if we want to. And there you have it. Guys, I've been learning, I can learn anything. You just give me the manual, dude. Give me the manual. Let me read the manual. And, dude, I'll fly anything. Dude, I can learn anything. Just give me the manual, right? Show me the manual and I'll fly anything. I'll drive anything. But you gotta give me the manual, right? Now we're gonna go to the runway. I guess we can go to the runway. See, it's not that difficult. Even F-16, when you look at the F-16 or F-18, you're like, oh my God. How do you start the F-18? This is just ridiculous. It all looks difficult. I remember when I first started DCS, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna turn this, you know, F-16 or F-18 Sea Hornet or F-15 Striker? How am I gonna start this thing? It all looks, you know, overwhelmingly difficult at first, but it's not once you learn it. But the manual definitely helps. Look, someone has to show you. Someone had to show me how to do this, you know. A friend of mine who is a pilot showed me, hey, would you like to learn how to turn on cold dark? And he showed me how to do it. I said, okay. So thank you, Steve. He's the Air Force pilot, so it's like, okay, dude, I'll show you how to get this whole thing going. Because he knows Boeing 77. He flown commercially as well for the KLM Dutch airliners. He doesn't work for them anymore, but so he said, okay, don't worry, bro. I'll show you how to do it. And I couldn't believe how easy it was. I was like, dude, that's it? I said, yep. Now, there's other aspects of, you know, flying an airplane. You know, you have to consider, you know, communicating to the tower. There's other things to look at, you know. Communicating with the tower, keeping the plane at a certain altitude, trimming it properly. There's so many aspects that you have to look into, guys. It's not just turning the engines on, turning the battery on. There's all these other aspects you have to keep an eye on. So we can take off if you want me to, but I don't know. I guess we can take off before I end the video. So I guess we can do it. Where's your trimmer? So you're gonna ask, well, where's the trimmer, Mr. Forky? I want to trim this airplane. Well, I'll show you where the trimmer is. That trimmer is right over here, man. You want to go a little bit up? It's right here. The trimmer is right here. Right here. This is your trimmer. Okay? So, I guess we can take off if you guys want me to. We can do that. Here we go. Not only did we cold and start, not only did we taxi out, but now we're going to take off with a Boeing 777. I got really interested in aviation ever since this. I mean, I had friends in the I have friends in the Air Force and commercial flying, but ever since this thing came out last year, August 18th, I've gotten more and more interested. I got more and more interested into I know I was not clear for takeoff, but we're just doing this as a you know, as a tutorial. My Karen air traffic control angry lady. So, well, there you have it, guys. Just she's upset. The air traffic lady is upset that I didn't call her. So this is the same Boeing 77 where I showed you the interior in the back and all that. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I guess it's a nice tutorial if you would like to cold start like a real pilot from the ramp, get your passengers from the ramp, from the terminal, and learn how to fly Boeing 777. It's not that difficult, but you need someone to show you. You need an instructor, right? So as you can see, someone showed me how to do it. Now I'm showing you how to do it. But it's not super, super difficult. Once you get familiarized, it becomes like a second nature, man. It becomes like muscle memory. Like you're never going to forget it. Okay? But at first, everything looks terrifying. Looks overwhelmingly terrifying, but it's not. So there you have it, fellas. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.